American rock musician Yago Anax, stage name Prince Midnight, once posted a video on his Facebook account, showing himself playing an electric guitar. The sound seems perfectly normal at first, but if you take a closer look at his guitar, you might be shocked. It's made from a human skeleton, and that skeleton belongs to none other than Yago's late uncle Philip. What's even more astonishing is that the guitar not only works, but also sounds fantastic. Yago's family is from Greece, and Philip, his uncle, was Yago's music mentor. As a child, Yago would go with his uncle to see live heavy metal shows, and that's how he was introduced to the world of music. Philip was deeply passionate about music and often performed live in Greece. Unfortunately, in 1996, Philip tragically passed away in a car accident at just 28 years old. His family donated his remains to a local university to be used for educational skeletons, but by the late 90s, Greek schools stopped using real human bones for teaching. As a result, Philip's remains were never used and were instead buried in a cemetery. Over time, the family had to pay high annual rental fees for his grave. Since Yago's family lived in the US, it became increasingly difficult to manage this expense, and they rarely had the chance to visit the grave. Moreover, buying a permanent burial plot would cost a staggering $150,000, which was far too expensive. Being Eastern Orthodox Christians, the family was also unwilling to have Philip's body cremated. So, the question of how to deal with his remains became a dilemma for the family. After some discussions, the family decided to have Philip's remains shipped back to the US for a more fitting solution. The task of retrieving the remains fell to Yago. He traveled back to Greece, exhumed his uncle's skeleton from the grave, and brought it back to the US. Upon returning to the US, Yago wasn't sure what to do with the remains, whether to bury, cremate, or simply store them in the attic. After some time, Yago had an idea. Since Philip had been his music mentor, why not use his uncle's skeleton to make an electric guitar as a way of honoring him in a musician's way? The idea was well received by his family, and Yago decided to move forward with it. Initially, he planned to have a professional luthier build the guitar for him. However, when he approached a guitar shop in Tampa, Florida, the two luthiers there were horrified by the idea of using human bones and refused the job. Left with no choice, Yago decided to make the guitar himself. After some research, Yago realized that no one had ever made a guitar from human bones before. So, he started from scratch, buying all the necessary parts for an electric guitar and began assembling it himself. The primary material used for the guitar was Philip's torso. He attached the wooden headstock and neck to the spine. Since the bones were unstable, Yago decided to add steel plates for reinforcement to ensure the guitar's stability. The output jack was placed in the fifth lumbar vertebra, and he carefully welded the pickups and other components to the skeleton. During the process, Yago recalls that the smell when drilling the bones was even worse than when welding. After much effort, the human bone guitar was finally completed. It looked radically different from a regular electric guitar, with a raw, wild appearance, but it functioned just like any other electric guitar, producing a clear and rich sound. Yago posted a video of himself playing the guitar online, and his friends called to praise both its unique look and the great sound.